and welcome to Magic Box Storytime with me, Lottie. Today, we are going to find out what happens in the final chapter of the tale of Professor Orange. Will the Professor and his team of small helpers reach Mount Hua Hua Wawa and find what they need to fix the royal washing machine? Chapter 4, The Drib Drab Diamond. "Yum," said Professor Orange. "Nice burger." He was sitting on some tufty grass and shuffled his bottom happily. This ground is lovely and warm, isn't it, team? Right, let's stand up and see where we are." They all stood and looked around. The ground was all tufty grass and black rock, and behind them loomed a great smoky mountain. "Jupiter's gas, the tornado did it!" gasped the Professor. "It's brought us to the foot of Mount Hua Hua Wawa. That's why the ground is warm. The whole area is volcanic." "Wow," said the team. "And isn't Hua Hua Wawa so beautiful?" The Professor was getting poetic. "Resplendent, majestic. And luckily it's sleeping. Can you hear it snoring, team?" The team stared at him, and he snorted with laughter. Sorry, he said. "Just my little joke." Nobody got it, so the Professor went serious again. "Right," he said. "What are we here for?" A little voice whispered, "Wasn't it the diamond thing?" "Yes," cried the Professor. "The Drib Drab Diamond. Okay, team, we need to find the entrance to the diamond mine. Must be a door around here somewhere." They all started looking. It took a while, actually. They found some ants, a puddle of yellow water, and a vulture, who seemed happy to wait. Finally, though, just where the bottom of the mountain met the beginning of the ground, behind yet another cluster of black rock, they found a little wooden door. "I say, it's rather small," said Professor Orange. "Looks like we'll have to crawl, team." Everybody tutted. But they knew they had no choice but to get down on their hands and knees and crawl into the mine. It was very, very dark inside, and they all began to sweat buckets. Professor Orange switched on his head torch. "Whoa, it's hot," he croaked. "Good job I brought my fan with me, eh?" He switched his little fan on too and went round giving everyone in the team a quick blast of cool air. "Right," he said. "Keep your eyes peeled for the... What are we looking for?" "The Drib Drab Diamond?" said Theo. "Quite! Yes! Thanks, Theo," said the Professor. They searched. Searching for the Drib Drab Diamond was even more difficult than searching for the entrance to the mine, especially now there was a lot of sweat involved. They dripped and gasped and crawled and wiped their foreheads and dripped and gasped all over again. Plus, Professor Orange was the only one with a torch, so if you weren't right behind him, you kept bumping into rock, which hurt. So, along with all the dripping, gasping, crawling and wiping, there was also quite a lot of ouch-ing. After what seemed like hours or days, but might only have been 10 minutes, someone said, "What's that?" And everyone said, "What's what?" And the someone said, "That glowing thing over there." The someone was pointing, but no one could see that because of the dark, so it took a few seconds for everyone to understand what they were supposed to be looking at. But finally, they did. And there it was, glowing in the darkness. "It's terribly bright," said Professor Orange. He put his goggles on and gasped a gasp of excitement, which sounded quite different to the gasps of drippy, wipey sweatiness he'd been gasping before. "This is it, team," he said. "The Drib Drab Diamond. A perfect one. We have to release it from the rock. Let me see if I can tap it out." And he took the tiny hammer from his left lab coat pocket and started tapping the diamond. "Gently," he whispered, and everyone held their breath. "Gently, gently," he repeated, and everyone started turning purple. "Gently, he said again. Gently. Got it. And the team stopped dying and breathed again. Professor Orange put the hammer back in his pocket and gave the drib-drab diamond to Theo, who put it in the little pouch he kept his favourite pebbles in, which he wore on a string round his neck, tucked inside his Follow Me t-shirt. Everybody smiled at one another, even though it was too dark to see smiles. Then the ground started shaking. Is it a super shock sinkhole? Inquired someone. No, wailed Professor Orange. I think Mount Wah is waking up. Quick, everyone, crawl for your lives. We have to get out of this mine now, or we'll be melted into volcanic lava. No way, cried the team. Quick, through the door, shrieked Professor Orange. Eruption! Eruption! They fell through the door onto the tufty grass and black rock outside. Run for those hills, said the professor. They ran and ran, but the hills seemed so far away, and Mount Wah was sounding more awake every second. Bits of mountain and fiery stuff started raining down all around them. Theo turned to look, and then wished he hadn't. "Ah!" he screamed, the way you do when there's a volcano erupting next to you and melting into volcanic lava seems a lot more likely than it did yesterday. "Oh, look at that eruption," said Professor Orange. "It's a big one. Team, we'll never get away quickly enough." "What?" cried the team together. "We did not sign up for this." I tell you what," said Professor Orange. "I'll radio for the Royal Helicopter to come and rescue us. They know me. They'll help." This calmed the team down a lot, although a few of them started to wonder why the Royal Helicopter couldn't have given them a lift to Mount Wah in the first place. Professor Orange pulled a walkie-talkie out of another lab coat pocket. "How many pockets has he got?" asked someone. "Who knows?" said someone else. He pressed a button on the radio and shouted into it. "Mayday! Mayday! Professor Orange here. I have the drib-drab diamond. Repeat, I have the drib-drab diamond. I can fix Her Majesty's washing machine. Require immediate rescue from Mount Wah. Over and out." Then they waited. Waiting for the Royal Helicopter was a bit like waiting for a bus, except it didn't take as long. They only had time for one round of I Spy before the whirring noise of helicopter blades could be heard, getting louder and louder. "I spy with my little eye something beginning with VDV. Very dangerous volcano. Yes!" Once everyone was on board the Royal Helicopter, and the helicopter had risen into the air again, they had a really good view of Mount Wah. Professor Orange was ecstatic. "Oh, look, team," he said. "What a sight! What a magnificent volcano it is!" And it was. It was a magnificent volcano. They were just glad they were leaving it. The journey back to the palace took as long as another round of I Spy, but not long enough for anyone to doze off. I spy with my little eye something beginning with E.G. 8 giraffes? Yes! Back at the palace, Professor Orange wasted no time. "Right," he said, "I must get straight to work. Theo, the drib-drab diamond, please. Thank you. Now I shall construct a new diamond motorator." A few of the team helped. They handed the professor the tools he needed, wiped his brow, and made him cups of tea. The rest of them wandered around the royal washing machine cellar, discovering what other kinds of things the Queen kept down there. A broken throne, a couple of rusty tiaras, but mainly it was just old bikes and garden furniture. Finally, Professor Orange stood up, removed his goggles, and waved a weird sparkly wheel at them. "One new diamond motorator," he announced proudly. Everyone clapped, and the professor got his walkie-talkie radio out again. Prof to Queenie, over, he said into the speaky bit. Good afternoon, Your Majesty. We've done it. We can fix the washing machine. Thank you to my crack team of assistants. Over. What, Your Majesty? Really, ma'am? Oh, we'd love to. Thank you, Your Majesty. Over and out. The professor put his walkie-talkie away and did a little dance on the spot. What? Said Theo. What did she say? She said, and the professor was so excited he could hardly get the words out. She said we're all invited to afternoon tea at the palace. But we're already in the palace, said Theo. No, said the professor. Not here, in the cellar, upstairs, in the living room. Quah, said everyone. The living room. Said Professor Orange. What sort of cakes will there be, do you think? Well, said someone, if it's in a palace, they're bound to be really nice ones. Yeah, said someone else. Chocolate, at least. And cream, said another small person. With jam in, said someone completely different. But as they climbed the steps out of the cellar, Professor Orange suddenly stopped. Gosh, he said. I feel a bit nervous all of a sudden. It's all right, said Theo. I bet there'll be a plate of fudge. Fudge, Theo, said Professor Orange. Do you really think so? Oh, yes, said Theo, and he took the professor's hand. No need to worry. And that is the end of the tale of Professor Orange. Didn't he do well? Able to finally fix the royal washing machine. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to Magic Box Storytime with me, Lottie. Thank you and goodbye.